Right, so I said I'd come on here to share with you how you can overcome addiction. And addiction can be addiction regarding anything: drugs, alcohol, food, social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, so on and so forth. If you are doing something a little bit too much and you're doing it impulsively and you're finding it very, very hard to manage such impulses, and if the behaviours or activities are interfering with multiple areas of your life, and if they have a negative mental, emotional and physical effects, could be well considered an addiction. Now, I can't tell you how to overcome whatever your addiction is. All I can do is share with you my own experiences and what enabled me to go from a place of addiction to a place of healing, self-discovery and self-growth. Without going into it in too much detail, I had terrible issues with drugs. In my early teens, mid-teens, right up to my late teens, weed. Started out with weed, sleeping tablets. Then I got really bad in sleeping tablets, and then all the other forms of kind of soft drugs. I was so bad that it eventually led to drug-induced psychotic episodes, which were quite scary. I'm not going to go into it. Anyways, I got out of that place that I was in, and here are some of the things that enabled me to get out of that place. So the first thing is desire. I had a desire to change when I began to make the changes that I made. If you do not have the desire to change, it can be provided with all the resources, the support, so on and so forth. You're not going to take advantage of them, because staying the same is more congruent with your desires in such moments. In order to make a change and take advantage of the resources and opportunities that will be provided to you, if you seek them, you have to have the desire there first to take advantage of them. So desire, that was the first thing for myself. The second thing was environment. The flats I grew up in, they were grey flats, but I was taking drugs at the time, and when I walked out my hall door to go down the stairs to go to the shop, the school, whatever it may be, my friends be standing there smoking weed, taking tablets, selling drugs. I was doing such things. I no longer wanted to do such things, and if I did not change my environment, if I did not move out of flats, no matter how much I wanted to change, it would be very, very hard to do so, because it was so in my face. So I got offered a house out of the flats when I walk out my door now, and when I walked out my door then after moving out, there was none of that. It was a lot easier to keep it out of mind, out of sight, and therefore out of hand. Now I'm aware that some people who might be in a similar position now to what I was in back then can't just pack up and leave. I was lucky enough to get offered a house. So what I would say to you is look around your current environment and ask yourself, how can I make this more congruent with the life that I want to live? So how can I set my environment up for success, or for the possibility or the likely outcome of success? And how can I make the behaviours, the activities that I want to get away from, how can I make them harder to access? So that's what I would say in regards to that. The third thing for myself was learning about my mind, empowering and educating myself. I realised that what got me to the place that I was at, having drug-induced psychotic episodes, get myself into all sorts of trouble, was my ways of thinking. And I realised that the same ways of thinking would not take me to a more positive destination. So I had to explore my mind, and I had to look into the workings of it. So I started to study psychology, and that enabled me to change certain thinking patterns that were not serving me, and to get to a more desirable destination in my life. The third thing then, or the fourth thing, I should say, was physical exercise. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of it, but trust me, if you're not exercising now and you want to overcome any form of addiction, physical exercise should be part of your tool kit. The last thing then was getting around the right people. So if you're surrounded, let's use food as an example. If you're overweight and you have a really bad relationship with food, if your parents, siblings, partners, whatever it may be, if they are similar to you, if they're ordering takeaways every single night, anytime you meet up with your friends, if they're going to fast food restaurants, so on and so forth, you're going to find it hard to overcome your own issues with food. It doesn't mean, now I'm not saying that you have to get rid of your family members and friends, but get around people who might have in the past struggled with similar issues as yourself, i.e. food, and as a result they gained a lot of weight but overcame such issues, lost such weight. Try and get around such people, and that could be applied to drug addictions, any form of addiction as well. If you're around people that are engaging in similar activities, it's going to be quite hard to overcome it. And if you can't remove such people from your life, ensure that you get around people who are currently living the life that you aspire to live, if that makes sense. So there are some of the things that helped me go from a place of addiction to healing and self-discovery. I hope you found it helpful. If you have, give the video a double tap.